Alright guys and gals, and for the people that continuously watch these patch notes that I push through for AMD, thank you. And for new people, welcome. So one of the reasons you're reviewing this is for the new Radeon patch. Well, mainly for a brass point for all the adrenaline utilizations for the addition for the 19.5.2 highlights. Now we're going to cover some patch notes on top of what I have right here, which let's go ahead and you can see what I already dialed in. Now they changed a lot in the most recent update for what I was encumbering when it came down to the division. And in fact, it actually broke my game where I literally had to uninstall it and reinstall it in order for it to physically be able to just do its normal thing. So I was just like, I wasn't really like digging it too much, honestly, in that standpoint. And well, here we are, and we already have like a patch point. Let me go ahead and we'll pull up a really fast situation. I don't know why it's tripping so hardcore on like the encoder. Shouldn't. Oh, it could be one other thing, I think, what's happening. Now, it should be coming in pretty clearly, I'm hoping. Let me just look at the coding patch. Yeah, that's weird. I guess it was just a hotspot. But so far, so good. This is the highest portion that I can dial in. One of the settings that I noticed that they had on the Patcheroni was the reason that they had, I guess, dialed in more. You can go into vegetation, you can go into like everything. So I turned up everything I possibly could in the customization. Before it used to just be 2 to 3 settings. It was just like, oh, okay, cool, you can turn this up, and everything else brassly is just across the board. But so as you can see, it's the same exact thing. It's fighting to be like a very strong 30 to 50. It seems like this is like the most beautiful you can get it in natural 4K, which is nice. So I'm definitely digging the standpoint of where I've gotten it now. And now that I've gotten past the editing portion. So the very beginning, like, I definitely would not, up until we get to the turn point where the person unfortunately is getting executed, is pretty spot on from that point on where it was like very dialed. I don't know what happened to the encoder, it didn't drop any frames, but it just seems like the processor was just like, no. But last time I finished this was probably around 38, 35, I think, if I remember correct. I ran a pre-test just to make sure everything ran, because I ran into a lot of conundrums getting this started. So 36, that's like, I will say our median is 35. So at this point in time, this is still rocking the Adrenaline 19.5.1, not the optional that we're going to install for. And I reinstalled it back into my Intel. So as you can see, that this would have probably been a different number than my Threadripper, which would have been a lot less. So let's go ahead and pull that back. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the patch notes. We can kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of the news while I get everything in the standpoint. So as you can see right there, as I've gotten everything pulled up for as far as the support of Total War in the Three Kingdoms. So this definitely seems as an optional point for more of the gaming utilizations for that. But let's see what it fixed also on top of that. AMD Radeon VII may experience screen flickering in multiple screen displays that are connected to a desktop while applications are running. I have seen that from time to time, and yeah, they've always usually kind of come down to that. The Radeon will list incorrect maximum temperatures for the graphics products. They definitely have the Wattman as a hot mess right now, so I definitely can see that. Let's see here. The GPU utilization and the Radeon performance and the metrics overlay may sometimes show on unsupported products. Interesting. Very interesting. And then the HDR video may freeze or have corrupted during playback while utilizing movies or TV applications with some Ryzen APUs. Okay, so that's different. I thought this was going to be completely different, like, oh, my bad type situation on their part. So one of the more important issues before we go into the known issues that they had was that the mobile processors with the Radeon Vega GPUs infrequent questions can be found here. And if you go to the regular page, you can just click it. I'll briefly go over here and you can kind of see that you can go from there. So if you have that they have some information directly for you folks. But as the known issues is the Radeon live stream and the uploading and the videos and the content in Facebook is currently unavailable. So you'd have to utilize OBS or other workarounds. Personally, myself, I've never really utilized it, nor do I really find the functionality. I'd much rather use my own rather than their own. Just because I like OBS and I met the creator, he's amazing. And then the Asus TUF Gaming FX 505 may experience decreased GPU connection issues with the device disappearing from the device management when the system is idle. Wow, that's insanity. That sounds like a conundrum that would drive me nuts. Let's see here. World War Z may experience an application hang-up after extended periods of play. Yeah, didn't think that I would see a 20% increasement with the current, patch that we have that wouldn't see just a hang-up. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the performance metrics overlay and the Radeon Wattman gadgets may experience an inaccurate fluctuation in the readings. So again, yes, on the Radeon VII, the Wattman's pretty broken. And then the Acer Swift with the AMD processor may experience a system instability when upgrading to the Radeon software of the new current optional. So if you haven't really gotten this and you don't want to get past that, it's fine. But those are basically your normal patch notes. So let's go ahead and go back to where I am, and we're gonna go ahead and play with the settings. So let's find our sweet spot. What we've always kind of done. You see custom, I literally turned off everything, or for as far as like, I saw that VSync had have a performance point, so I didn't do that. So let's see what happens when I turn on VSync. We'll benchmark that as the most maximum, and then I'll go back to my we'll go to a medium like setting and then like a high setting and see what ends up happening. So let's go to benchmarks and we'll take it away from there. And that 4.6 that I have it clocked on works great for gaming on my Intel, but the minute I start doing rendering and it starts maxing the CPU at 1000% of its processing, it's like, nope, not working. Do not care. Okay, so the VSync seems like it almost kind of like slowed it down a tiny bit, but it also seems like it's stabilizing a little bit for as far as like just seeing stuff on my screen at least. I don't know if it's like too much of a difference on the other screen, but it definitely seems like for playback it's pretty good. 7 minutes into it, not too bad. These patch notes are kind of moving along pretty fast. I enjoy these a lot actually. They're pretty sweet. I gotta give like Division kudos. I never played this game on PC, but I do have to admit it is pretty sweet to like freaking have like this game have like a benchmark system like this. It makes my like entertainment and like, well, that of like showcasing to others like how cool this could kind of be around certain turns. I feel like the VSync is helping out a tremendous amount, actually. Very interested to see if it beats the 35 to 36, because if it's off and on, it said it was I would see a huge performance increase with it off, and I was like, well, I kind of want to try it off and see if it will work with the other things and make it work in tandem. Okay, so there's absolutely no difference in an HDR run point for VSync. It just looks cooler for me. We're gonna keep it on. Alright. Now that we've gotten consistent 36, now is our median. That's 2 36s. That is pretty sweet. So. Bam, let's go ahead and go down to where Ultra was. Hit Minute. And we'll go ahead and scheme. See what happens. VSync's still on. Frame tear. You can see the shadow quality is high. A lot of things are just like an ultra. Not a lot of like super crazy crap. Medium on reflections. 16 on the scopes. But it seems like this one's pretty interesting for as far as like ultra goes. It's seeming like custom gives you a crap load more. of like what's going down. So I almost want to try this one just as is and see what it is in the very end, because I want to find a nice benchmark. So let's go ahead and start from the bottom up once we install it, and let's just run a nice one since we already ran an extreme one. So I'm gonna do this. Should take a second to like pop over, I presume. Alright, cool. Check, make sure that definitely did save. And let's see what our new benchmark would be now. Now running it at this part isn't too difficult at all. Though I do notice when it runs this fast, when like the clocking point, the CPU definitely does take a little bit more out of it versus like where it seems like the GPU runs a lot harder with the other ones. So you can kind of see out the gate, it's running like where I'm a lot more higher at ups and downs on that CPU, where it was a lot steadier before. But so it definitely seems like even with like my 2950X, like on the high setting right there, like it was even pulling in right around the same, because I was kind of hoping that it would be pulling in more on the FPS. Looks good though, damn good. But they tuned that pretty much for World War Z, which kind of tuned down some of the settings here. But I like where they did this setting, because it's like there's not a lot of stuff that renders in hella fastly, like where it looks fake. This looked like it was like they slowed the FPS, but it was like this wide point of perfection where you saw a lot of cool stuff. I'm saying we're probably gonna hit a nice 58 easily, just because like coming around the bends, we're not even dropping below 54, like to 52 at like the latest. Now we're running down to the point of, well, I mean now we're at like 50. It's not too bad, but I'm not a really big fan of the 5.1, so that's why I'm pretty stoked to install the new one, just to see what that's all about. But that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go directly to the computer and install that into my Intel. We'll rock and roll from there. So, what is our number? Why don't you be 56? It's probably gonna be 56. Oh, 54, wow. Garbage. Wow, my Threadripper beat that. And it's not even really technically a gaming PC. Alright. So, let's go ahead and exit out. I don't know why it tripped out right there, but it's whatever. Go ahead and open up that Radeon menu. Didn't take long at all. These updates are like pretty fast. I think they're just like patched on mods for them for the most part, like once you have the initial bundle installed. There we go. Okay, it was scaring me. I was like, why are you stopping at 53%? Whatever the hell it was installing in the center there was huge. The 4 cores of my 67K Kirby Lake was just like, yo, bro, I don't know what the hell's going on, but crazy shit's happening in the water. All right, there we go. That's the infamous like shake of an install for like the GPU. I've always noticed though, it's like the screen goes blank, and that's how you know how to pay attention because it starts speeding up. But this one in general is taking really long. Sure, if it helps you. Okay, I was getting scared there for a second. I was like, what's going on? Great Scots, man. I was like, this is another PC conundrum. I thought went through the last 3 hours of trying to fix this crap. And here we are again. I don't even know what the hell happened earlier. It was weird. Alright. Yay, Nord. Go go gadget. I love that place. They're good. Their VPN's pretty sweet. I like it at least. So, let's go ahead and open up Tom Clancy. Now it does take a little bit of time to load in because the Uplay kind of sucks sometimes. Not the world's best friend, but it does its job from time to time. Alright, very nice. Go ahead and put it back to where I had it, that way it pushes it the same. Go back to the high setting. This is nicely installed, and then we'll hit the overclock too, because every single time you install it, usually it'll take away from the overclock. Though my Radeon VII card sounds beast right now, it's about to fly. Oh my gosh. They fixed the garbage from freaking 19.5.1. Look how beautiful that ran. It started out the gate high 60s. It wasn't this stuff. So they messed something up when they did World War Z into this. And like Total War, I don't know if like this is just our benefactor of getting that in that situation, but like yeah, there was definitely a mistake there because last time it did not jump in that tough, and it's already fighting to be 60 and above, and it still looks to be kind of like the same shed. To be fair though, the one that's not optional is actually pretty good. I think it's the 19.41, like the OG. It's right around the same-ish. Definitely about 2 FPS higher. But I was expecting so much bigger ones. Like, there have been past updates that just boss as hell. At the same time, too, I also wanted to try something that might work. So I'm wondering if it's because I'm pushing it in really good 4K that it's just like, damn it. Check this out. Oh, that definitely does make a difference. Besides the turning, it doesn't seem like it's breaking at the hinges. I've definitely seen higher FPSs though. I've also seen worse, but for it to hold 61 as it's turning right there is pretty impressive. Okay, so it actually went up by 1. And this is where it's supposed to be, 31 point there. So okay, let's back out. We're gonna initiate the overclock, which should be stable by itself. There's no overclock. It's a reset. Yeah, I really don't like that one though. Just double check, make sure it took. Okay, back to settings. We should just be in the basic one, make sure. Or we want to be 56 or the 54. Damn. You can hear that over my voice really well. I mean, it's staying a solid 60. Damn, that this card versus full throttle on a freaking like situation that the 2080 is a hell of a lot quieter. It barely gained an FPS. Except for the sound sounds like it's about to lift my damn card off the ground. Yeah, it changed everything back. Custom's such a pain in the ass. But in order to replicate what I did, I gotta do it again. I still can't believe how noisy this computer is right now. So from looking at a lot of these graphs, it definitely seems like running at the newer update, it's a bigger stability point. It does not seem like we're gaining FPSs here, for maybe except for maybe a few here and there. But across the board, I wouldn't even doubt if this didn't come up to 36 when we got around that bend again. Just because it seems like it's improving certain things within what the broken point of the 19.5.1 was. Now again, if you want a stable one, and you just go to the non-optional. Non-optional kicks ass, actually. So, I know those are your options. Like, you can definitely get a lot of good FPS. But if you have certain tuned games, then you can go into where it's definitely tuned towards certain styles. So it's like World War Z, Total War. These might be patches that are individualistically tuned to you. So you might have to go back to mine patch notes and go one by one in order to read where the patches hit. And they do actually list the games that they're trying to gear towards. So let's see what we got. I mean, 1 FPS in this kind of mode is like huge. Which, there's 1 FPS. So, high tune, new patch. I can kind of beat it by at least 1 FPS, but again, that's not saying much, considering that like tuning it on like didn't do much in the beginning. So a lot of stability, as you're seeing. You can see the GPU where it used to kind of bog right there, but it seems like it's kind of going in a lot of fluctuations of up and down now. But guys and gals, to keep this one very nice and short, I'm going to keep this right around here and wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching. In the future, we're going to go back to the Intel build. Not really going to do the Threadripper build. It seemed really nice at first, but it seems like I can hit higher clock speeds when allocated in certain points. And this kind of computer, just because I can do 4.6 over the 4.15. Oh, yeah. 4 gigahertz or 4.15. 41.5 would be insane. 41 gigahertz per, yeah, that would be, it'd be the fastest computer ever. You'd like blink and you'd have been born like 10 times over. You'd be like, you're too slow. Alright everyone, but like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys